Alright, here we go. This is a custom 1v1 match on Chasm between the blue player in the upper left-hand corner, Fortin, in the standard Helix, and the green player in the bottom right-hand corner, Tipsy3000, in the Steampunk Warthog. And this is one of the color-specific, or team color-specific mechs, I think. But we do see Tipsy with bear traps. That is, and he has turtles, and he has sergeants. Okay, no artillery on Chasm, not even for late game, not even with Berthas. And he doesn't have at least he has AA. Okay, so this isn't completely unorthodox, but we do see Fortin with a pretty standard loadout. He has Berthas, he doesn't have Goliaths, but he does have Ratchets, and T99's a little bit unstandard in the higher level players. But we will see how that will work out for him. And Tipsy now going with defense before the mid push, which we do typically see now in games in maps that don't have well, that are fairly easy to cheese immediately, and also the ones that don't have that have neutrals at mid, where you do have to you do have to defend, or where you have to imp spam mid. It does happen that you don't really see too much defense going on there, and we did see an attempt at a cheese from Fortin, but Tipsy already had it very well surrounded by rebels, so that was not successful whatsoever. Neither player has low-level artillery, and Tipsy already here for the socket harass. It does kill a moneymaker before Fortin is able to save it, and there are a lot of these two rebels and Tipsy are all firing into this outpost. Does get it neutralized, and now he will force Fortin to either grab some creeps or defend it long enough before Tipsy gets back out, and Tipsy does suicide himself in front of those neutrals to deny that experience from Fortin, and Fortin actually almost dead here, but will use this a little bit of time to grab the creeps to get him a little bit closer to that outpost, and not to neutralize it, but to claim it a little bit quicker. He should probably drop those in front of the rebels that were killed. He could have probably just saved this himself, but didn't actually do that, and dropping those ratchets did nothing. But he is able to chase Tipsy down. At that point, Tipsy probably should have done the exact same thing that he did earlier, where he just lands in front of the neutrals to deny that experience. But right now we do have Fortin pushing up on mid with these tanks, but the tanks are not even close enough to attack. If you put them right on the ledge, I'm pretty sure they do attack. They are close enough to attack these T99s, and we do not see anything of that nature whatsoever by Tipsy, and he is using oh, he is setting tanks on attack. There was a full queue just now of Longhorn, but these fixers are obviously not going to follow, and he is now setting them on capture, and that will start to push them toward mid, and the fixers will follow with them. But now Fortin does see this coming, and he is going to start to try to attack these tanks, but I don't know how productive this will be. At most, he will be able to kill some fixers. And now Tipsy is going to probably get this. Yeah, he does get this kill on Fortin. And now, even though Fortin has cleared his side of neutrals, Tipsy's pushing up pretty aggressively with a lot of tanks, and his, this Warthog much stronger than a chopper. And these fixers are going to be here to heal up the tanks, get a lot of salvage, and once these bulbs are delit, they will be able to claim this outpost for Tipsy. Fortin pushing up a little bit more with these tanks, so we do have the normal station a bunch of units on each side of the outpost, so it doesn't get claimed. But now Tipsy bringing the bear traps out. He is going to prevent a lot of infantry, or whatever creeps leak in, for Fortin to be actually trying to take this. And Fortin is going to probably be able to get this neutralized if no creeps or infantry go out for Tipsy, but Fortin actually does get killed by Tipsy there on the ground. Tipsy with that air to ground. It is really effective if you really do know how to use it. Even though it does have a damage penalty, it really is effective. Using it as, once again, not as necessarily a DPS or damage tool, but for just for a tool to maybe control what certain mechs are doing. And now these bear traps probably should be a little bit further out as these infantry, whoa, that camera there, but as these infantries do start shooting right about here, so they maybe should be moved right to about this area, so the infantry do get attacked while getting while being stopped by that bear trap. But this ratchet de-arming these bear traps, and that is a big you know, if your enemy is an Osprey or has healing units that are and important at this point, I would say this is borderline Ratchet spam. There is a good mix of his units here, but this is a lot of Ratchets, much more than you typically would see. Maybe about, like, there's 4 on the field. Usually with this composition you'd see maybe about half of that, just about 2. But right now, obviously, lots of units on each side of the chasm, on each side of the outpost on this mid, and now Tipsy putting Seekers down. And actually no AA besides those T99s that are down for Fortin, and Fortin going with the T99s instead of Seekers for the AA, and you know he doesn't have any other AA in his loadout either, unless you count Jackals, which, let's be honest, you don't. But yes, at this point, both players are fairly maxed out in terms of power, so that is why you do see them floating a lot of credits. And that usually in 1v1 signifies you better just throw away units left and right just to put down as much or harass or whatnot as you can. It's something kind of signature of tangibility that you do see fairly often, him just throwing away units left and right. And honestly, it's not really throwing away units the way he does it. It is very, very useful use of those credits, because a lot of times you do see them maxing out on, you do see players maxing out on power, just like this match. Fortin actually at -3 at this point, and he is going to start pushing out just like Tipsy is, but Tipsy is way ahead, was able to clear these neutrals first. He is probably going to put down some fixers. Oh no, he had some, okay, now he is queuing up some fixers to be able to get the salvage on these neutrals that have been cleared, but Fortin with a line of tanks here is going to be able to clean up these incoming ones, especially with his own rockets firing in. And Tipsy is not here to support his tanks, and they are all pretty much getting killed. But Tipsy landing in the middle of those tanks, very, very dangerous, but is doing it a very good way. He has a bunch of fixers here to divert their attention, and landing behind the tanks does take a little bit of their turret rotation speed, I guess is what you can call it. So that does create a little bit of delay, but he does get killed by Fortin's rockets there. So now he, you know, I can't really say whether or not that was worth it, but he has been able to clear pretty much all of Fortin's units over here, and I think Fortin actually picked them up and sold them. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but we do see a Rebel coming up. Is he going to try to get this top outpost neutralized? Yes, he only is here with 1 Rebel, though. Oh no, he's actually going for the Saki units. Fortin does save it, but you know what? He probably will be able to continue this harass, although Fortin has quite a lot in his queue. He probably should. Oh no, he does use those rockets very, very effectively. That is one big problem, trying to do socket harass against the chopper, because of those air-to-ground rockets are so powerful. If you do anything next to an outpost or a fort against a chopper that knows what he's doing, and obviously Fortin knew exactly how to defend against that. As you can see, Tipsy didn't take out any of these moneymakers. He obviously did know what he's doing, and that was just kind of a failed harassment attempt. But we do see Tipsy producing more and more tanks. He is very much using his credits the way that he should. But actually, Fortin the one with 10,000 instead of Tipsy's 35, but is getting air to grounded there by Tipsy, but does manage to hide behind those T99s, temporarily scaring Tipsy away, but Tipsy circling around and getting that air to ground, finishing off Fortin behind those T99s and Ratchets. And now starting to push out. Probably will be able to break this wall in front of that bridge. And I do not know if Fortin actually... Oh, he is actually reinforcing this, so I'm pretty sure he is trying to create a wall there for any incoming pushes that a lot of players do use. And Tipsy is doing exactly that. And I'm not really sure why the tanks went all the way around here when they could have gone this way. That is, you know, another slight pathing issue. But these T99s... Oh! Tipsy killing Fortin there. I'm paying attention too much to the units instead of the mechs, but these T99s will be able to block the way. The first one does go down. A couple tanks are going down as well, but I would have expected. I can't really tell with all this smoke, but are there any fixers in here for Tipsy? I do not see any healing beams, so I guess if there were any fixers at one point at all, they were killed. But Tipsy with a great mix of Seekers and tanks, and getting to hit a lot of these tanks over here from the back, so is going to rip it up. But Fortin with those air-to-ground rockets does finish off Tipsy there, and this push will cause a little bit of extra trouble for Fortin. No, actually, Fortin is able to, especially with this tank cluster of 6 tanks there, is able to finish off the rest of those, and is once again creating his wall. Now is level 6, queuing up a Bertha. Let's see if he's able to effectively use this to attack the other side of mid to try to clean up the rest of Tipsy's units. And that is the one big problem here, that Tipsy does not have artillery. But we are in halftime, so Tipsy front door, hero hogging, to be able to trying to deny those credits, and you know, using that front door is just putting on that much extra damage to deny the credits for that much longer. But Bertha's going out on the field for Fortin. I don't know. I really don't know if this is going to last very long at all for Tipsy, because all of his units are getting rained on. A lot of them have been killed already, and this is going to be cleared fairly quickly for Fortin. By Fortin actually, and Tipsy pushing out again on the top side. I do not think that these neutrals have been cleared. No, they have not. So he is pushing out with, there are 7 tanks, 7 Longhorn, no Seekers queue. Oh, he does have them in queue though, but however, Fortin is going to be able to grab mid. However, Tipsy does see it, he will be able to grab it, and I do not know if splash damage from artillery affect bear traps. I don't think they do anymore. They used to, but I don't think they do anymore. The bear traps are still there, so I really highly doubt that they are going to be. Oh, they do. It does. Oh, that bear trap got destroyed by that artillery, but I don't know why Fortin hasn't responded to this. He did see this fairly far in advance, and this outpost is neutralized. Tipsy with this undetected tank push, 0 Seekers, but you know, he's not against a Warthog, he's not against a Bomber, so it's not that bad. He's not against a Saucer, so these tanks, this chopper is not going to do that great against them. It will get stopped by these tanks stationed here, and Fortin's fire or whatever, whenever he decides to put them in. But Tipsy grabbing this outpost is, you know, brings a lot of tanks out of queue, and this is gonna, I think this is gonna be a base race. Tipsy is gonna be able to clean up the rest of the tanks over here, and it has more in queue. Fortin positioning a Bertha is not really gonna be that effective, especially now with that artillery nerf. But we do see a couple tanks going for Tipsy's front door, and there is nothing defending it except for 2 rebels and a Seeker. So we will see this trying to. I don't know if Tipsy's gonna be able to pull this off, because Fortin is here defending, and those tanks are going for the front door over there. There are a lot though coming up. There are a lot coming up, and Fortin doesn't have any queued up. He really needs to queue, he really needs to spam that T99 or Longhorn button. Either or will be much better than this. But Tipsy with a 2-pronged attack in different parts of the from different parts of the map. There are some are on the front door and some are on the side, and this is going to be the end of the game. I do not see a way back for Fortin in this context. He is less than a quarter of his life left, and is blocking with a Longhorn. There's only Seekers on that bottom, but more tanks coming up for Tipsy. He is bringing up more and is going to be shooting in himself, trying to kill that Longhorn. But Tipsy3000 does get this victory over Fortin in this custom 1v1 on custom, or on Chasm, custom on custom. This custom 1v1 on Chasm, and yes, that was very that front door, or that base race. The Fortin didn't actually get to Tipsy's fort before he was finished off, but you know, Tipsy, realizing Fortin was level 6, really needed to do some kind of extreme action before those Berthas came out, and you know, obviously this was a custom match, so he did notice that Tipsy didn't have artillery and Fortin did, so that was a great decision by Tipsy to go for that push at the time that he did, and was able to support it by taking that outpost, that top outpost, and you know, using that controlled outpost, dropping more tanks, was able to finish off Fortin's fort. If you have any more replays, if you have any replays of any epic games to send me, check out my video description, click that send me replays link, and check out the other links in my video description as well. I do now have a Twitter, so please follow that if you want to know anything that any of my random thoughts, or when I post a video. Also check out KNOMO's blog, AirMech Fighters, and Solid Snake's YouTube. I will link that in the video description as well. This is RUI, and that's game. See you next time.